The Hilton Head News continues with a guy who knows more stories, and the good thing is you tell most of them too. You don't keep too many of them secret. Jim Chaffin, who is the chairman of the tournament this year and has been such an integral part. You still remember number one, don't you?
Still remember number one, Thanksgiving weekend of 1969.
Now, you had to be about 10 years old. What were you doing there?
Actually, just getting out of grammar school at that time. And I just happened to be lucky to be down here, and I was playing around. They hadn't quite built the playground yet in other side of the harbor. No.
We're being facetious. You were here with Mr. Frazier at the very beginning,
Yes.
Helping him sell real estate.
Exactly, yeah.
Helping him develop
I
all
came
this.
down to visit my old friend Jim Light, who had gone to work for Charles, and I just came to spend a weekend with him and had dinner with Charles, and just was fascinated with his vision and his excitement and enthusiasm. And
He did that to a lot of people, didn't he?
he did. It was infectious. But yes, I did. I came to work and was here as a rookie salesman during that first Heritage in Thanksgiving of '69.
Now, you actually almost had the sale of a lifetime, though, didn't you? You were involved in with Winnie and Arnold Palmer, and they almost became residents, huh?
Yes, indeed. They almost did. In fact, Arnold and Winnie, Charles asked me if I would show them around. And in riding around, I couldn't help myself but show them a little bit of real estate.
Sure.
And they actually picked out an oceanfront lot, and or Winnie picked out an oceanfront lot while Arnold was out practicing and playing. And at the end, he couldn't come look at it until the finish. And once he had finished and had won the inaugural Heritage, which in fact positioned
You sold a little real estate after that, didn't you?
Absolutely. Well, you think about it, that the improbability when Jack Nicklaus went to Charles and said, there's something special here. Do you mind if I say something to the tour? And, of course, the improbability of the PGA Tour selecting a marketplace that had less than 4,000 residents was very improbable. But there happened to be a place on the calendar, and so we wound up with the tournament. We found out in May of '69 that we were holding a tournament Thanksgiving of '69, and the clubhouse had to be designed and built.
That we are in,
Well, actually, the predecessor.
Second issue,
the predecessor to this. I mean, I can remember seeing Tom Stanley out here drawing and handing them to the construction guys to build the club. And, of course, Bill Carson and the rest of the guys finished getting the course ready. And then for Arnold to win the inaugural Heritage, and he had been on a little bit of a slump, so the press was all over it when they found out he was leading after 2 rounds.
Folks need to know he was Tiger Woods before Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody cared that he had been in a slump. Yeah.
And so Sports Illustrated actually did a cover story, and the headline was "Course with Rare Bite." And had Arnold and had a picture of an alligator. That's kind of reminiscent of that quintessential picture of Charles that was in the Saturday Evening Post of him walking the alligator. So Arnold won, front cover Sports Illustrated. Hilton Head was announced and positioned. And to finish that Palmer story, after he won, we went out, he looked at the oceanfront lot and said, "Great, we'll take it, send me the contract." Sent him the contract, but it turned out that Charles and Mark McCormick, who was the manager of Arnold Palmer, had been classmates and competitors at Yale Law School together. So Mark calls Arnold and says, calls Charles and says, Charles, Arnold doesn't pay for anything. If you want him there, you better give him
it to him.
And Charles, in his inimitable fashion, said, Mark, we only want people here who want to be here.
There you go.
If he wants to be here, we'd be delighted for him to be here, and he can pay for the lot. And, of course, that $38,000 oceanfront lot went on to be worth a couple of $1 million. So when Arnold was laying out wound up over our career doing 4 or 5 golf courses with Arnold Palmer. And in the last one he did for us, arguably many feel one of his absolute best, is the old Tabby Links at Spring Island.
Right.
And as we're walking down the layout of the 18th fairway, just clearing, he looks to the left and says, Chafe, are there going to be any lots over there?
Now he wants one.
I said, yes, sir. He said, pick one. I don't have to see it. Pick one. Send it to me. And do not send it to anybody else but me.
There you go.
So he and Winnie bought a lot, and they came and brought their grandchildren often and spent time there.
Did you ever think it was going to be like this?
Wow.
50 years later.
The thing, it's unbelievable what has changed. The staff has done such an incredible job taking it to the pinnacle of excellence that it is. The thing that hasn't changed, and I'll mention something about this morning.
Okay.
What I care about that hasn't changed is, one, that very first year, Charles made the decision that rather than renting commercial vendor spots, we gave them to different charities on the island that very first year. In fact, I remember flipping hamburgers as a Montessori dad at the Montessori booth. And secondly, so it's remained at the heart of the tournament. If you look at the fact that the heritage is committed, its mission statement is to impact the quality of lives of people throughout South Carolina.
Well, it certainly has for all of us. Jim, thank you so much for the time. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Hilton Head News this week, Heritage Week. Cheers to 50 years. Cheers. It's going to be wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for checking us out. We'll be checking you out around our island home this week.